to the weekly broadcast to expose and enlighten you on the truth as prescribed by the scripture on various issues in our world. The Bible says in Psalm 119 verse 130 that the entrance of His word gives light and it gives understanding to the simple. God bless you as you enjoy today's message.
All right, so let's pray. Father, we thank you for the release of grace, even in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, so for the past 5 days, we've started our series on self-examination. And we are allowing ourselves, we are talking to ourselves, we are evaluating our lives, how we can make ourselves better. And the subject we are looking at is the issue of pride. So the whole system is dubbed. It's a question that everybody may say that I'm not proud. Nobody will actually admit that the person is proud or not. But it's not. We are not asking such a question for our own self to answer. But what we are doing is that we are bringing ourselves before the Lord. We are allowing the Spirit of God to unveil to us and also assess ourselves. So the whole thing that we are doing is not just like you talking about yourself, trying to make yourself appear like you are better or you are not better. But we are comparing ourselves in the lens of Scripture and know whether we are proud or not. So from the first day, we dealt with a lot of issues. Today, and a lot of things have been shared. A lot of things have been shared. And we got to understand that the basic way of self-assessment is you having an objective, having a standard. So we got to know in the book of 2 Corinthians 11 that we are supposed to examine ourselves whether we are in the faith. And we know that the faith there talks about the objective faith. That talks about a certain objective or a certain mark or a benchmark or a standard that we are comparing ourselves with at the place of evaluation. So that means there's a certain standard that we are trying to measure our daily life and daily activity against to know whether we are on track or we are drifting. And the Bible also said that we should be able to also prove our own self. That talks about our ability to measure our worthiness. Okay, your ability to assess your worthiness, your ability to track your own value system, your ability to go through the various value system. So we also got to know that it is very important for you to be able to assess yourself. And in doing that, it helps you to be able to prove your value. The word prove there talks about the sense of measuring your value. So you can check your growth period. Am I growing? Am I changing? Am I still the same? How far with my behavior? Am I still talking the way I used to talk? Am I still doing the things I used to do? At the age of 5 and I'm at the age of 25, what are the changes that I've gone through? And the reason why many of us, we are not able to track changes is because we don't change. And the reason why some of us, we don't change our behavior or we struggle to mature and grow is because we don't assess ourselves. So we dealt with a lot of things about self-assessment. And we got to know that, Charlie, at the place of examination, we know what is working and what is not working, what has to change and what we have to hold on to and intensify. And all of them are seen at the place of self-examination. And we got to know that our growth system is not just by age. So when we say that you are growing, we are not just saying you are increasing in age or years, but we are also looking at your makeup, your ability to accumulate the necessary knowledge to effect the changes needed in your journey. That is where we check growth. So when we say somebody is growing, we are not just talking about the person's height. We are not just talking about the person's age. some of us are around 25 years, but our behavior is like 9 years old. There are people who are 50 years, but they talk as if they are 20 years. So our system of growth, there are people who have not gone to school. And when they are talking, it's as if they've gone to school. And there are people who have gone to school, and when they are talking, it's like they've not had school before. So we are not able to appropriate the necessary changes needed in our life to accumulate the growth system we are talking about. So when we say somebody is growing, we are not saying that the person is adding on age or the person is increasing in height. Even in a natural system, we know that there are people who are increasing in age, but they are not increasing in height. In height, okay. There are people who are still smallish the way they were when they were young. So it is so clear, even in a natural and biological system and the field of anatomy, that even our years of increasing or our age engagement has nothing to do with our makeup as a person, our makeup as body, because there are people who might have increased in age, less like 20 years, like 30 years, like 40 years. But when you see their physique, it seems like their physique is like the way they were when they were 14 years. So you realize that the age system does not really affect our personhood, even though there's a system like that happens at the place of biology. But it's not always like that. So that should tell you that when we are talking about you and your growth system, we are not talking about age. So the fact that you are 25 years doesn't mean you have grown. A lot of people are using certain terminologies and they don't understand. A lot of people are saying so many things that they don't understand. A lot of people are using so many words that they don't understand. And I feel that's the reason why we are not getting the sense of adjustment and improvement and development we need in our lives and development and in destiny. Because by reason of we having certain age, we think we have grown. So according to the law in constitutions, you say, well, when the child is 18 years, the child is grown. The person is an adult. The person can now take up responsibilities. But that law is not necessarily emphasizing on the age, but the law is also assuming that by the time you get to 18, you would have gone through all the maturity and growth system you should know to be able to take a decision and be able to follow up after a consequence of a decision. So by the time you are 18 years, the law assumes that you know much about decision and knowledge and about life, and you know how to discern right and wrong and discern what is right and what is excellent, and you are able to appropriate the necessary mental accession in order to make a decision. But how many of us can boldly say that at the age of 18 we were making right decisions? Even at the age of 30 we look back and regret. So it tells us that growth is now being just limited to the place of number. But when we say growth is not just a quantitative element, but we are also looking at the qualitative dimension of growth. We are not just looking at the quantity aspect of growth, where we deal with the measurement of numbers, specifically in the place of age. So you see somebody, Charlie, you have, Charlie, Obana, when you pow, wow. Or if you say 28, hey, this year when you say no. But put the person and let the person start talking. You realize that the person will be talking childishly. You see, you hear foolishness and you will not hear any sense of growth in the person's speech. The way the person used to talk is the same way the person is talking. The way how the person will react to situations, that's the same way the person is reacting to situations. So you realize that the system of growth, the dynamism or the indicators of growth, it goes beyond the sense of numbers and the sense of age, if I should use that one. But we are also dealing with that place of quality, the place of quality where we can measure up your decision, the quality of your decision. And when we talk about quality, we are dealing with the essence of efficiency. That means our ability to produce high with a minimum or a minima or with even a zero error. But we are in a human system, so we still give way for errors. But when we talk about quality, we are dealing with our ability to advance in age and reduce the number of errors we are using and the number of errors we are making. But how many of us can say that at the age of 30, you are still making the mistakes you committed at the age of 18? And it means you are not growing. Yeah. So growth goes beyond the place of number. Growth goes beyond the place of age. So in as much as advancing in age and years is also very crucial, that we have to also accept and admit the fact that you are older than me in age, doesn't mean you have grown above me. You understand? The fact that you are 40 and I'm 30 doesn't mean that you have grown above me. Because perhaps, even though you are 40 years, you act as if you are 2 years old. I'm still on my subject. So a lot of people claiming that they have grown, we need to question that. So you have to question your own growth. When people say you have grown, don't be using that word just like that. Be careful who you say that the person have grown. Be careful. Most of the time, when we talk about growth, mostly we are dealing with age. At best, the physique. So when a person sees you tall, stout, now if you're a female, maybe your body physique is beginning to change. You are getting, your hips are coming, your breasts are coming. They are beginning to feel that sense of feeling around. I say, wow, like Charlie, wow, hey, Oba Banani is wow. So when the person says Oba Banani, the person is not talking about, the person is just looking at such a lady who have become so appealing and so wonderful, and he's just looking at the physique. Yeah. But your life goes beyond the place of physique. So we must be able to question our growth system. We must be able to question. So be careful who you say has grown. And be careful when people are using that word grown on you. Otherwise, you will jump into something you are not ready. Yeah. Yeah, I'm 28 years. I've grown. I can marry. Today I was talking to my Makafu and I was saying, my daughter, so when are you bringing your boyfriend? I said, Papa, I've not grown. I'm still young. I said, hey, my daughter, are you young? He said, Papa, I'm still young. It's not about age. It's not about the size of my hips. And it's not about how heavy my buttocks is. And how I feel people are giving me fans. No. I don't know. There's a big gap between my age and my personality. Even though I may be 28 years, when it comes to my makeup as a person, if you put me on the scale, you realize that I'm even 3 years old. The only difference between me and the 3 years old child is that I've gone to school, I'm using iPhone, I'm taller, and I've grown places. That's the only thing. And I don't use breast milk. So the place of growth goes beyond the physique. Okay? Are you following? I'm still teaching on pride though. So you realize that if you know some of these things, it even affects you. Yes. Yes. Why do we say that wisdom is not with the gray hair? Initially we said that, oh, somebody who has a gray hair, the person is wise. But right now we have seen that wisdom is not even gray hair at all. We hear some people are very old and they are very foolish. Yeah. Solomon was the youngest king and the youngest among all the officials in Israel, and yet he was the wisest among them all. That tells you that there is a certain level of engagement. That is where we measure growth. That's where we measure growth. Is somebody learning? That is where we measure growth. So your growth system is not only in the physical dimension. No, our life is in 3 compartments. If you have been here for a long time, you know it. We have the physical life, we have the spiritual life, then we have the mental life. You have the material life, we have the mental life, then we have the metaphysical. These are things we have studied already. So you are a body, you are a soul, you are a spirit. So that's why when you are 90 years and you are not born again and you accept Christ at the age of 90 years, the day you accept Christ, you are not 90 years in the kingdom. When you accept Christ at the age of 90, you are a day old in the kingdom. So so you realize that when we come to some of these things, that's why a lot of things have been mixed up, even in church and even in our society, because we are not having the right parameter and the right measures of activities and people. So we are all getting it wrong. Somebody thinks that I'm in the university. I was there the last time. One lady from somewhere sent me a message, level 100. He sent me a message. I said, man of God, the last week came to preach at my school. I said, okay, these guys are disturbing me. I'm falling in love with this guy. I want to accept the proposal and start dating the person. Then I asked the person, which level are you? He said level 100. Okay. How old are you? He said 28. Okay. When do you want to marry? He said 30 or 32. Or when I completed school, maybe latest by that. It's okay. So how many books have you read on relationship? I said 0. How many relationship seminars have you gone to? He said 0. Who is mentoring you in the place of relationship? He said no one. Who are you following when it comes to marriage? He said nobody. How many parental books have you read? He said nothing. Okay. Who has been teaching you, or who are you listening to when it comes to parenting and how to take decisions and take responsibilities? He said, I have not started yet. I said, okay. Do you want to give birth when you marry? He said, yes, please. Do you wish your childbirth would delay? He said, no. You can know where the answer, you can already predict what I'm about to say to the lady. So I asked her, approximately how many years do you think you wish you give birth after marriage? He said, oh, maybe after a year. I said, okay. How many parenting books have you read? He said, none. Okay. Who is mentoring you in the place of parenting? He said, nobody. Okay. How many speakers and conferences on parenting and couple and marriage and seminars and things have you gone to? He said, not yet. Then I said, do you think you are ready to marry? She herself, she said no. I said, okay. Will you accept the proposal? He said, man of God, I don't think so. Then I asked her, will you accept the proposal? He said, man of God, I don't think so. I said, okay. I didn't say anything. I can imagine her face. And I thank God it was on WhatsApp. And it wasn't face to face. The fact that you are 28 years and you are in the university doesn't mean you have grown. No. Because your growth, your life is not just the physical dimension. Your life is a whole individual component. Too. Your life goes beyond iPhone. Your life goes beyond. Old now. I'm 20 years old now. I'm 30 years old now. Hey, you think it's age? If you know these things, even on your birthday, you are conscious on what to do. So you realize that even birthday is not cutting cake and blowing candles. You know, people build destinies on birthdays. We waste time and we do foolish things because we have no sense. We have no sense. When I finished asking the lady question, she herself said that. So I asked her, will you accept the proposal? She said no. I said, why? He said, I don't think I have to accept the proposal. I didn't say anything. No. Just asking the person a lot of questions. I'm done. So I was asking myself, said, this girl cry. You are 28 years. And so what? You are in the university. And so what? Hey. You want to experiment? You want to waste time? So I was asking myself, what is happening to this girl? And who is she listening to? Say, because you are 28 years, by reason of your age, 28 years, you are fit to marry. You are fit to enter into relationship. By reason of you being in the university, now your hips have come. A lot of people are liking you. People are, when they see you, they desire you. You begin to feel yourself. And the guys too, Jimmy, because you see a lady and you get erection into, you think you are ready for relationship. You see the guy, anytime you see the lady, then your thing begin to erect. Hard one. So you are measuring your growth with your manhood and the size of your manhood. You have grown to have children. Hey, mini, esa mi yena me ware, mini, esa mi yena me wo. Hey, you are that's the. So you see where all the problem we are getting in this universe is coming from, and all the mess our children and some of us we are going through is because of that. Inexperienced people and people who are using wrong measures to calculate and evaluate their growth. So you realize that growth is not just in the physical dimension. So you have to measure it through the spiritual, the mental. Then even when you break it down, you realize even other things begin to come in. Financial responsibility, health responsibility, a lot of things come in. So all these things make up together to check whether you are growing or not. So don't allow people to push you into something you are not ready for. Don't allow it to. Yesterday we got to know it too. Don't allow it to. You know yourself. Don't. Master. Untimi spell ya menchro. Yedi nyansa na bobrao. Nyansa. This life too is not a sprint too. It's a marathon. We succeed in this life by our staying capacity. The staying capacity, the holding ability. And then your friend of capacity. Your ability to stay on the lane. And your ability to hold on the lane. Share. Marriage is for those who are able to hold. It's not to have keke. Have a relationship. And no cry one day. Have a yen sepe when yen a baby. But if you are ready for life, if you are ready for this thing for life, then we are dealing with the subject of holding, the staying ability, how to stay on the road. How to stay on the road. So you realize that in the book of Genesis, when God came and was dealing with the creation, he said, God has not sent rain upon the earth. Genesis chapter 2 verse 4. He said, God has not sent rain upon the earth because there was no man to till and to keep the land. So it's not just coming to enjoy. And we are talking about your ability to keep. So it's not on how you are feeling. When you see the girl the way you are feeling, when you see the boy the way you are feeling, then yourself will be doing crack, 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 crack. It is the keeping ability. Will you be able to hold till the end? Will you be able to stay to the end? And that is where we measure growth. So when we say you are growing, we are not just dealing with the quantitative dimension, but we are also dealing with the qualitative dimension. Your ability to reduce risk, your ability to reduce mistakes and errors. Because I'm telling you, let me tell you, there are certain mistakes when you commit them at the age of 3 years, it's nothing. But when you commit the same mistake when you are 15 years, the consequence is greater than when you are at the age of 3. There are certain mistakes when you commit them as a citizen and suddenly you become the president of the nation and you commit that same mistake, that the consequence that follow that mistake will be greater than all. It becomes like an irrecoverable mistake. So you realize that, Charlie, you are not just dealing with your advancement in age or numbers, just increasing that me were 30, me were 40. So sometimes you see people, thank God that because of these ladies who want to marry and they are not getting married, they have helped us. Now they see that age is just a number. And no more the age is a number. Age is not a number. But now because of the way our economy, because of the age you require, so many ladies they hide their age. Oh, are in the Rihanna who says, I know our Roma. Oh, my man, our no. Our Roma. Where and then, first of all, is a one yen is anchor, our name so. Share. So, how old are you? I'm 18 years old. It's we're 48 in on 48 years in on. It's when you're 18, their name so. So because of marriage, but so they say age is not a number, and we thank God for that. It tells you that our life goes beyond numbers. So are you growing? That's the question. Are you growing? Are you growing? On your birthday, what do you do? Are you growing? Ask yourself, how old are you right now? In a sense of number or age. How old are you? And ask yourself, do you match up to your age? Do you match up to your age? Is your mind working the way 30-year people mind work? Do you take decisions? Are you able to, you are now 27 years old. Ask yourself, are you able to make decisions, productive decisions as 27 years old? Or you make choices as if you are just 14 years old? That means that we have 3 years gap to fill. You have 3 years gap to fill. Dr. Mike Murdoch said the last time that he said, a man must have read the number of books as of his age on every relevant subject. That is how we measure growth. When I heard that, I realized that for me, I'm a small boy. He said, a man's growth is measured on the number of books and knowledge he has accumulated as according to his age on all relevant subjects. Now, relevant subjects, you don't know to even talk about the knowledge and the books. So, do you know what it means? He's trying to say that if you are 27 years, that means that by the time you are celebrating your 27th birthday, you should have read 27 books on marriage, 27 books on finances, 27 books of entrepreneur, all relevant subjects concerning your destiny. At the age now, woman, you should have accumulated knowledge as according to the number of your age. In 28 years, you should have read 28 books, 28 engagement on that subject matter concerning your destiny. So you are somebody, your destiny line is in politics. By the time you are 27 years, you should have read 27 political books, 27 leadership books, 27 management books, 27 administration books, 27 relationship books, 27 public speaking books. Every subject matter that relate up to your destiny, by your age should be equivalent to the number of knowledge you have accumulated in all the relevant, individual relevant knowledge system that have to do with your destiny. That is when we can say that indeed you are 27 years. So when we say that, do you know me? Do you know I'm older now? You say, how old are you? I'm 30 years. Before we can clap for you that you are 30 years, they will begin to ask you, what are you give us 30 engagement knowledge realm. You should have read 30 books on all relevant information and topics and areas that have to do with your destiny. That is when we say that you have grown. So far, age no tate and crofo na shinim. Are you not ashamed that people who are younger than your age have even accomplished more than you, way back beyond they got to your age? Are you not ashamed? Are you not ashamed of yourself? "25 years, you are still in the university. You think you have done well." Somebody completed university at the age of 18. Somebody have got into masters and PhD at the age of 25. Are you not ashamed? Don't you see a sense of adjustment and development and improvement that you should work on? You are just there wasting time and using your age in the house and controlling people. Don't you know I'm the big sister in the house? Don't you know I'm the older sister in the house? I'm the older sister in the house. I'm the elder sister in the house. Now, who your penny, who your elder sister now will feel now there's nothing that represents what you are. What are you saying? If you are the elder sister, then let's see the elderliness. You think it's just by growth, just by age. Ukasa meyehu wo ukasanim o dwinya asamaba. We have to take a decision to turn the whole family around. Me afraid elder sister, come and talk. We should see your age in your mental articulation. Oh Jesus. When you open your mouth to talk, we should see the depth of wisdom in accordance with your age. When you talk, but even a palana crowd over 4 years, the grandpa will not say what you said. So we are just I think we should stop saying we are growing. We should say we are aging. Yes. I think that's the right word we should use. So you are just aging. You are not growing. You are just aging. You are not growing. You are not growing. Because growth goes beyond number. We are also looking at the advancement in quality, the preservation of quality. And all these things come together to make up your self-examination system. Are you growing? And every growth is measured by relevant changes. Did you hear what I said? I said every growth is measured by relevant changes. Even in biology, and even in the physical natural system. Before we say somebody have grown, there are certain relevant things we see the change in before we say you have grown. If you are 14 years old and you are still 14 years, do you say you have grown? Do you say you have grown? If you are 14 years and you are still 14 years, do you say you have grown? You have not grown. You have not added any age. So when we say growth, we are looking at a change in a relevant area. So first of all, maybe in the place of number, age. So if you are 2 years and you are not 3 years and you say, I'm growing, and there's no, it is like, assuming when they give birth to you, you are still a day old. I don't know whether you are getting me. You are still a day old. You are not getting 1 year. You are not getting 2 years. You are still a day old. Can you say you are growing? You are not growing. Then we even come to the makeup, your body structure. That's why biology has given us certain characteristics that we need to see when you are growing. They're giving us the stage. When a person is a child, there are certain things that it shows that comes out of your body to show that you are growing. That you have got to the place of adolescence. Who do adolescence now? There are certain things we are expecting to see around. So they are indicators. That means we are talking about certain relevant changes we must see around your body that will let us know, say, you are growing. So if you are 25 years and you are a lady and we are not seeing your body is flat, your chest is flat, nothing is showing, it raises a lot of concerns. Something is wrong somewhere. You are not menstruating, all the characteristics around the adolescent system, we are not seeing it. Then it means that there's something wrong. So you are just aging in number, but you are not growing in accordance with the natural systems and the natural indicators to measure up your growth. So that should tell you, say, growth, there's a lot of things that goes into the growth, even in the physical dimension. There's a lot of things that goes into the growth. That's why when you give birth and maybe at the age of 6, your child is not speaking. At the age of 10, you get worried. Why? Because you feel like as the person is advancing in age and days and months, it should affect the person's speech, the person's attitude. It should bring certain changes. That is it. So it shows you that growth is actually dealing with certain relevant changes in certain relevant measures according to your life. So growth is not just about number. No, we are dealing with relevant changes. Relevant changes. Many people are not growing. They are. Let me say, they are just aging. They are just adding on years and years, but they are not changing. They are not growing. Why? Because we don't see the relevant change that we are supposed to see. And the change does not come. Change is a function of knowledge. Change is a function of knowledge. It's a function of revelation. change comes by reason of an understanding. It comes, who told you to stop bathing outside of your bathhouse? Who told you to stop bathing outside of your house? Nobody told you. It came by a particular knowledge. That means all of a sudden, one day you just realize that no, I can't stand outside and bath. I have to bath inside. Suddenly there was a particular thing. Because a certain knowledge came to you. You receive a certain awareness. That is when we measure growth. So many people are not growing, they are just aging. So stop boasting. I'm 30 years. I'm 40 years. I'm the elder sister in the house. You don't know what you are saying. You are the elder sister and you are acting as if you are the last born of the house. When something is coming and we say, hey, elder sister, come and talk, and you start talking, we don't see your elderliness in your talking. We don't see your elderliness in your talking. You are just the aging sister. You are not an elderly sister. You are an aging brother. You are not the elder brother. You are just aging. The only difference between us and you is that you have more years than us. But when we come to mental articulation, we don't see it. And Kateteno, in the olden days, when we sit down, when we say we are going to meet the elderly, when you listen to them and when they are talking and the way they act, you know, say, this person is an elderly person. It's not by age. So when something happens, into those times, you know, they call Penifoni, they call Brewano, they call you. We are going to engage. That means at that place, you know, we are dealing with a certain wisdom and a certain mental articulation and certain behavioral changes that we will not find among the common people who are walking around. But what is happening nowadays? We are just interested in cutting cake and walking about and just brooding people and just messing up and just deceiving everybody with our age. Do you think as your age? Do you talk as your age? Paul said, when I was a child, I talked like a child. I reason like a child. I do things like a child. But now I've grown. I've put away all childish things. That is growth. So we measure your growth in your talking, in your reasoning, in your actions. It's not age. Age is there. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11. He said, when I was a child, I spoke as a child. That means the first place we see your growth, whether maybe who say when you answer how do I know that, Richmond, you are grown? Start talking. Simple. It's not about birth set. It's not the length of your manhood. Or the weight of your buttocks or your hips. My ladies, start talking and let's hear. And I'm 28 years. I'm 30 years. I think I have to marry. I think I'm delaying in relationship. Okay, fine. You are grown. Start talking. Start talking about marriage and let's hear you. We just give you a case. When you give birth and this thing happen, what do? I'll say when we get to the bridge, we will cross it. It is a sign. Hey, how can you say that? We will get to the bridge and cross. What if we get there, the bridge has been taken away by the water? What do? We will turn back. Master. So Paul said, these are the indicators to know that somebody is growing. Let the person talk. I spoke as a child. He didn't say when I was a child, I was crawling. He didn't say when I was a child, I wear pampers. He didn't say when I was a child, I was being carried at the back. He didn't say when I was a child. Are you getting what I'm saying at all? Look at the things that Paul is talking. That means when we talk about when we are dealing with childhood things and childish things, we are not talking about pampers. So there are a lot of people who are doing makeup, walking around, wearing heels, using iPhones, but they are children. Only a baby for childish people. Childish people. Childish people. Kai. Childish people. When fa lady ni pie keke na sha say when ni din komon fa abrabo ho. Na tie nsem obekeka. Nkwala nyema nko a wo tana why confused. If you are not a genuine man, you just take advantage of her and just leave her. And these our ladies they are not growing at all. They are conscious about their physique and how they are not thinking about the real measures and indicators of growth. First of all, you're speaking. You're speaking. Only a testing whether you have grown or not. Start talking and let's hear you. Talk about marriage and let's hear you. Talk about childbirth and let's hear you. Into 32 That's why you don't have to trivialize your learning period. You don't have to trivialize it. When you have to learn. I'm telling you. Because very soon you are going to contradict yourself. And yes, soon I'm okay. I spoke like a child. Then look how he said. So your speaking tells us whether you are growing. So we are not talking now. Did he say when I was a child, I was 2 years old? Did he mention age here? So when we are dealing with growth, we are not mentioning age. When we are dealing with growth, we are not talking about your physique, whether your leg is short or there are people who are grown-ups, but their body is smallish. Do you say they are children? There are people who are very young, or 14 years, so who now the body or body, the person has flesh, and you see say, or Namuhas will be when you're 32 years. So you realize that even in the body system, there's a lot of deception. So using how somebody is looking and how somebody has appeared and the age is not even enough to tell us that the person is growing. Because there are people whose body outlives their age. There are people like that. Ultimately will be 40, 45. You see the person's body becoming like wrinkle. Was not the wrinkle babase. Will be all barber and so 40 years old. If you are using gray hair, there are people who are 30 years, they are having gray hair. There are people who are having 20 years, they are having gray hair. 40 years, they are having gray hair in their hair. Doesn't mean that they have grown. No. So Paul said, we are not talking about those physical things that we are dealing with, but there's something very crucial that measures our growth. The first thing is your speaking. So I spoke as a child. What do you talk about? I'm still talking about the subject of pride, though. I have not missed. You don't come to church early. Nowadays, there, time not so young, and I'm there. If nobody here will teach. Nowadays, I spoke like a child. So your speaking will tell us whether you are growing. That is where we see your growth. I understood as a child your ability to break things down, your comprehension, your ability to give right interpretation to things. Where there's low understanding, there's high assumption. Many of us, we are living on assumptions. I thought that, I think that, I was thinking that. If you can and why are you confused? Just something little. Some of you, you're combining pet. Why are you confused? You don't have understanding. You don't have the ability to break things down into pieces and bring it individual components that we are supposed to bring together for the result that we need. You don't have it. Understanding is the ability to break a whole into individual pieces and know their right relationships in order to bring the results you are looking for. That's what we call understanding. Into your 2 plus box is equal to 4. Understanding is then what do I need to add to the 2 to get the 4? So your ability to know, say, I need another 2 to add to the 2 here to get the 4 is what we call understanding. So understanding is where we break the whole into pieces and know how the individual pieces are able to relate with what to get the results we are looking for. That is why what you are taught in class is different from what you write in exams. It's a test to know whether you understood. So how do you understand? It's not just because it sounds nice. It's your ability to break complexities down. How many of you are already worried of life? Something little now about because how do you understand? What do you understand? What do you understand? He said, I understood as a child. So we check how grown you are by how you understand things. Hey. Then the last aspect is I thought as a child. You are thinking. And yet Ghana thinking now. Okay. When in Ghana, when we say what do you think? In Ghana, when we say what do you think, we are saying that anything that comes in your mind, that is what you are thinking. We don't know that thinking is a processing system. Africa, they are seven. When we say what you are thinking, then we tell what is on your mind. So something is happening. Charlie, what do you think? Then the person was, I think that. So when we say I think that, we think we are thinking. We think, in my opinion, so those who are very professional, will start with, in my opinion, please, we don't use in my opinion to begin a sentence. When you are saying in my opinion, then you have done a proper processing in the thought pattern before you talked. By all Kasevi and San Wadring, or Kasevi and San Wabe analyze some can say, San Waballer. I don't know what kind of fashion. Hey, I'm now about to think. I now think I'm about to think. In my opinion, I'm thinking that. So our thought pattern is low. And he said that when I became a man, I put away all childish things. So you realize that the growth was seen in a particular change in the relevant areas. One, there was a change in the way he talked. And there was a change in the way he understood things. And there was a change in how his thinking was working on the subject matter that relates to life. That is how we measure growth. And your age, and your nufo, and your tade house, and your 10 year, and your body, and your muscle. So what are the childish things I put away? That means the things I used to say, I don't see them. How I used to say things, I don't say them again. Where I used to say things, I don't say it. I know the what of sayings. I know the when of sayings. I know the how of sayings. And I know the where of sayings. Because there are things we can say in the bedroom, we can't say in the public. There are things we can say in the public, we can't say in the bedroom. There are things we can say when the children are around. And there are things we can't say when the children are around. So we have grown. That is the true test of the growing, not the rank. The fact that you are wearing rank doesn't mean you have grown. Your understanding, your ability to comprehend and apprehend issues, break things down. How many things do you understand? Even yourself, you don't understand yourself in Africa. And your thinking pattern. These are the areas. So let me tell you something. Do you know that your speaking is a function of your mind? Do you know that your speaking is a function of your brain? How many of us are aware? Those of you in science, you understand it better. Do you know that your speaking is a function of your brain or your mind? You can't say what is not in your mind. Actually, words are articulated from the brain. Okay? So when somebody is not talking, mostly we do a brain check because there's a part of the brain that controls our speaking. So your speaking is actually a function of the effectiveness of your brain. Write it down. Number 2, your understanding is after understanding, grandpa dear. We already know that it's in the mind, right? Your thought is also in the mind. So you realize that all these 3 indicators of growth are all connected to the mental realm of your being. Your speaking is a function of your brain, your function of your mind. Your thinking is a function of your mind. Understanding is a function of your mind. That means if you are putting all what Paul said together, Paul said that when I was a child, that means when Paul said when I was a child, that means his childishness was in his brain. Said they are not dreaming Juma. Said they are dreaming Juma no, and then they measure whether so you're grown and also when you're grown, or you're child and also you're man. He said, when I became a man, I put away childishness. That means that when I became a man, there was certain changes that came into my mental realm. That means that we measure your growth by your wadrin. Adrin said your wadrin ye juma no. It's a case wadrin ye juma yendi watemo. Ye case wadrin ye juma yendi watemo. We are telling you that per the age you are and what you are claiming you have and the way you are behaving and talking and thinking and understanding, there's a question mark on it that we need to question your mental faculty. Because who say you are 40 years? But you talk as if somebody, we don't see your age in your talking, your thinking, your understanding. Hey, then there's something is wrong. There's something wrong on your mind. There's something wrong on your mind. And yesterday we got to know that the food for the mind is knowledge. The processing of the mind is understanding. And the product of the mental engagement is wisdom. So we measure your ability to do right thinking by your ability to handle situations and your expansion of wisdom. Hi. That's why wisdom is the principle. In the mental realm. We are not just talking about the person's physique. But ye susu enyi wa dream mu said ya dream ni ye juma. In Ghana, when you are 18 years, you are considered to be an adult. You are considered to make choice, especially when it comes to voting. But do you know something? There's something very crucial before you go and vote. There's one crucial requirement for voting. The first one, he said, of sound mind. You can go and check the constitution. Every country will tell you that. In as much as you are 18 years, if your mind is not working well, you can't vote. Have you seen a madman at the age of 40 going to vote before? When he comes there, we will lock him. Have you seen somebody at the psychiatry, somebody depicting psychiatric issues and psychological issues, and the person is coming to vote? When the person is coming, we will not allow the person to vote. Because when we are talking about sound mind, we are talking about your ability, your independence, your ability to exercise certain discretion in your mental faculty independently. So you should be able to make certain right choices without relying on external people or external environment. So you must be of sound mind. So who 40 years now we're draining Yejuma. We don't let you do things that we know 40 years are supposed to do, all because you are 40 years. Because yeah, the word dreaming moon is susu say when you answer when you yeah, the word dreaming. So being at the age of 50 and you are having psychological issues and you are having mental instability, nobody will allow you to vote. So lack of sound mind cancels and makes your age irrelevant. Now somebody is getting something. Somebody is getting something. Somebody is getting something. 18 years old boy with a sound mind is better and is appreciative and recognized than somebody who is at the age of 80 and is having a mental problem. Why? Because your growth is measured on your mental assessment and your mental capacity. So you realize that something is wrong somewhere. We got life wrongly. We got life wrongly. And these are the things you don't want to hear. The Lord said you shall do well in Jesus' name. I see you go and vote. The Lord said you shall vote in Jesus' name. Hey, on the day of election, if you have a mental issue, you can't vote. So ask yourself, how old are you? When you mention your age, then ask yourself again, is your mind sound as your age? One day, one of my daughter came to me. We were talking. He said, Papa, I'm growing. I was just quiet. I said, why? Papa, I said, nipa to me. Papa, I'm growing. I said, yes, you are growing. I was just waiting for what he was about to say. Hey. Ubeshiti efi krampa wadwin nye adwuma se obeyi beshiti no. If you want to give birth. Na ubeshiti krampa wadwin nye adwuma so besesa beshiti no. And say akwala no the pan person obe that person for 5 years. But said the ultimate ma beshit lay bed or babesia 29 years, 27 years. Who ultimately lay beshit for 1 month or babesia. Why draining to me prekill and count? And I be being triggered. Why draining say SMS you know. Me say it is all in a mental realm, no. When you know that the issue of growth is not just about your age, you are able to humble yourself. you're able to handle pride. Do you know why? Because you don't allow your age to let you uplift yourself into something you know you are not. What you say? Me nino enye me age keke. So when we are looking for Ubia or 30 years to do something, no, or measure, you go beyond the realm of 30 years. Not be someone say, maybe 30 years more, but is my mind working like a 30-year-old person to handle this thing? Or I need to engage knowledge. In general, it doesn't matter who has it. Now can you look at Nicodemus? Nicodemus was older than Jesus. Peter was older than Jesus. Matthew was older than Jesus. Church historians say that about 7 disciples, almost 7 to 8 disciples of Jesus were all older than Jesus. Judas was older than Jesus. So what will make these people who are older than him submit themselves and follow him around everywhere? Be listening to him as if say they don't have sense. Hey, they understood. I am older in number, but I'm not grown. I've not grown older than him. So when John the Baptist met Jesus one day, he said, this man, even though I'm older than him, he said, he was before me. He said, this Jesus, even though I was born 6 months before he was born, no, this man standing here is before me. He is before me. He is before me. This man that you are looking at is before me. This man that you are looking at is before me. Even though I am 6 months older than him, even though I am 10 years older than him, even though I am 5 years older than him, even though I am 20 years older than him, even though I have all the experiences in marriage and he has not married yet, even though I have children, Peter was married. Peter had a family, but Jesus had nothing to do with marriage. And yet he said, even though I have all these things to show, I have the money, I have the work I am doing. When Peter came to encounter Jesus, he realized that when he came, Peter was working. He was working on the boat. He was coming from there. But he realized that no. Even though I am working and it seems Jesus is not working, he's a lazy man. No, there's something around this man that makes him grown and bigger than I am. It's not about my height. It's not about my age. It's not about the work I'm doing. But it seems that there's something around this man. There's something around this man. That means Okasa, there's a certain mental exposition and there's a certain debt that this man is carrying. The Bible said that when one day Jesus was preaching, and the people came to Jesus and said, what manner of man is this at all, that he carries such deep wisdom in the thing he teaches? When he speaks, it's like it appears like some of us we are just being babies before him. It seems like even though we are grown and we are older than him, it seems there's a certain mental system. It will take humility to submit. Pride will not allow you. Pride will say, look at my age. Pride will say, look at what I have. Overa bakaziva la bashanda la bahai. Indelianda la babayanda la bayanda la. Sundele andele mamaya. Ondolo lo 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 andele. Omi andele andolo. Mayanda la la ziyandeli ando. Obi andeli azayandeli ando. Uyondo lo 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 lo. Suyandeli ando. Kabayi andeli ando. Surinde mi mama. Ayanda la la la. Ore mama ziandiana. Ramandolio zianda. Rendele badio shandalaba. Ieniliandelia. It will take humility for a Nicodemus to come to Jesus. The problem with the Pharisees was all because of their pride. I told you that your pride is always in what you think you have, what you think you have accomplished. It's always in that. Me, I am a teacher of the law. I have been in this temple for many years. I've been working at this company for many years. You just came. You small boy from national service, you just came. What kind of knowledge you think you have that we don't have? What experience do you have that we don't have? My woman, my worry 40 years. Who today, who crowd relationship can only be? What kind of knowledge do you have about marriage that you are about to advise me on it? It will take humility to listen. It will take humility. Because when you enter the place of humility, humility will say that it's not about the age. It's not what I have. It's not what I have gotten to. But the substance of what I am cannot reflect by my age. So I have to calm down. 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 Oh, Kimili Valahaya. Are you sure you are growing? Are you sure you have grown? Paul said, if you want to know whether you have grown or not, don't look at what you are wearing. Don't look at the size of your brazier or the height and the length of your dress. Look at how your mind works in your speaking, in your understanding, and in your thinking. Then we can know that you have grown. And if there is something ineffective around that place, then you are a child. And if you take a child to learn, the Bible said in the book of Proverbs that train up a child the way he should go, so that when he grows, he does not come out of it. Train up a child. That means training and learning is for children. People who are able to, irrespective of what they are, where they are, what they have gotten to, are still able to subject themselves into training. Proverbs chapter 22 verse 6 says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. That means training is for old people. Training is for children. It will take your ability to bring yourself from that age, from that job, from whatever thing you claim you have, and subject yourself to that system. That is when you can be able to receive training. That's why I keep saying that one day many of you are going to look back and you are going to regret how quickly you left your training season. You should have learned more cooking skills. You should have learned more sweeping skills. You should have learned more things. There are so many things you could have learned from your dad. There are so many things you could have learned from that fellowship. There are so many things you could have learned, but you allowed your haughtiness and arrogance and pride, or because of age, because of school, because of rank, because of phone, Because of a job you are having, you think you are an adult. Because you receive a pay, monthly pay, that over 2,000 or 6,000 or whatever, that your mother is not receiving. You think because of that you have suddenly become greater and you have suddenly become older. So you switch from being a trainee to a trainer. And some of you switch from being a learner and a student to giving instructions. And I know people here who they give instruction, they are speaking. When they are speaking to their parents, it's that they are commanding their mother just because they have something that the mother doesn't have. You will never be able to learn and become anything proper and anything substantial if you don't understand the place of training. Because the place of training is the place of making. Everybody is made well in the processing system. Every product you are seeing in this world has gone through something we call the processing. The biscuit is a biscuit because of the process. The malt is a malt because of the process. The phone is a phone because of the process. There was a certain period that this time have to go through. This thing have to go through all those things to become the phone. If the phone does not complete its processing time and the processing stages, it will not become a better phone. Many people have cut short our learning season just because of one thing. That's why you're about to fall. That's why one day you are going to be disgraced in that marriage. That's why one day you are going to be disgraced in that job. Psalm 138 verse 6. Psalm 138 verse 6. It says, for though the Lord is high, he regards the lowly, but the haughty he knows from afar. He sees you from afar. He sees you from afar. Proverbs 11 verse 2 even made a 10 words. He said, when pride comes, his grace will follow. Anytime pride shows up, his grace will follow. But with the humble is wisdom. Proverbs 11 verse 2. The place of humility is the place of wisdom. Your ability to make yourself a child. The ability to make yourself a child. Engage the place of knowledge. When pride comes, shame will follow. See the shamefulness of your life. And there are more shame waiting for you. And what you don't know, you don't know. What you don't understand, you don't understand. You can deceive everybody. But what you don't understand, you don't understand. God is calling people in this place. Are you proud? Are you proud? Or should I say, are you growing? Because no proud person will grow. Proud people don't grow. They are not able to grow. Because growing is in learning. How can you grow when you think you have arrived? How can you advance when you have alighted? How can you learn if you know? So pride never grows. And that is where the shame is. Pride never grows. Pride will never allow you to grow. So many of us, we are not growing because we are proud. Our arrogance is not making us grow. You don't even know how to wash plate. You don't know. You don't know. Because pride didn't allow you to learn it. Some of you must drop that pride because of university. Some of you must drop that pride because of that rank. Some of you must drop that pride and go back to the school and learn. The school of life, to the school of training. Go back to that mother. Go back and submit yourself and learn. One of the stories that when I read, my heart shakes so much was the story of Hagar. Look at the maltreatment. The Bible itself admitted Sarah was maltreating Hagar. But when the angel of the Lord came, he said, Madam, go back and learn. Stop being proud. And listen, let me tell you something. Sometimes when you start feeling that somebody is maltreating you, it is pride that is making you. Pride will make you feel like somebody is maltreating you. Pride will make you feel like somebody helping you is controlling you. Pride sees changes as controlling. Into omo yen krofo ma ware untime nsesa enya ware ba kwa ma ware untina ade we ya me nja na me ade enu ana sa na me ye ma de sa na me hunya sa na me ye ma de. Pride sees changes as controlling. That is pride. That is pride. Pride sees changes as controlling. When you are telling pride to change, pride will say, you can't control me. Untimi me control me with fear Hawaii. Untimi me shemeso. Pride ahomaso hu ensisanya se ensheso ohu se onsesa no hu ni se ye ensheso ye hye no so. Ohu se ye ensheso nti no sa no omba fie. Many of you when you vacate, you don't go home. Because you see your home as a controlling place. You see your home as in Sheswa. Because when you go home, and I'm in university, you don't treat me as a university student. You are a fool. You are a fool. You are in university, so you can't sweep the house again. You are working, so you can't put the food on the table. You are using iPhone, and so you can't scrap. You have gone to school and people are doing long nails, not nails. You know that you are the one that scraps in the house. You are sitting down. How can you scrap when you are wearing a long nail? How can you do it? How can you do? How can you do? And it's because of your self-consciousness. You are conscious of yourself. That is why you can't come down to learn. So the training systems, we are not able to complete it. So many things are wrong with us, but our mothers cannot say it. Our fathers cannot say it. They can see that something is wrong, but you're bold to tell you. Because you see, say, when they are telling you to change something, you feel it is a controlling. And that is why it means that you are not growing. You are just aging. Some of you stop growing at the age of 18. You are just aging. You are just advancing in age. You are not growing. Brendele vadihanda lavasha. Robo gozivala bakaziva lahayasa. Emilianda lavabayanda lavasudele. Okivara baba shanda lavayanda. Growth does not see change. And because you don't want people to be telling you to change, you don't want to be associating yourself with people who will tell you to change. Yesterday we got to know that every proud person is boastful. And every boast work with people who will give you fans. There are people who are hailing you in your foolishness. There are people hailing you in your foolishness. They themselves that they are hailing you know that you are very foolish. Because very soon you are going to fall. Very soon you are going to fall. And the interesting thing I've seen about life is that mostly the people that we don't listen to are the people that when we fall, they will come to stand by us. The people that we don't want to listen to are sometimes the people who will be at the moment when we are on the ground. And the hailers will not be there. That's your mother you don't listen to. That's your father you don't listen to. That man of God you don't want to talk to and listen to. Because you don't want to even listen to, you will not even talk to the person. Because when you talk to the person, that is where the person will get a chance to say, this don't do, this do, this don't do, this do, this don't do. And genuinely speaking, there are many of us young people listening to me that our leaders, our parents cannot talk into our life. Because or cape or reaction, right? The way you speak will tell the person, say, don't talk about it. Obi cry to me, catch and say, don't talk about it again. Somebody is able to tell the father, say, I don't want you to talk about this matter again. Me person become wants to be. Things are going wrong as a wife. Your husband cannot say anything you say is okay. Let me tell you one last statement. Write it down. When you start feeling like you are becoming fully responsible for your life, be careful. When it seems like nobody wants to take responsibility or a corporate responsibility about your life and the things you are doing, especially certain crucial things that pertain to your life, it means danger is lying somewhere. I'm telling you. It's wisdom. Learn it. When you are going somewhere and you know this place, your mother have to go with you, and suddenly he withdraws. It tells you, said, recalculate the whole matter. Bia, usubani said they are reacting to issues in Tinu. Ontimin country was a man called. Ontimin country. And some of us, we are so arrogant, say, we have even banned our mother and our father on certain things that just will be crackers. Some of us, we have even itemized things our mothers and fathers can't talk about it. Come our relationship you should buy make us no ma me dey menye we o e ba me person be kan wasem mate. When they see the danger they can't say it. Number 2, when it seems like somebody who is an authority over you is always note it. When somebody who is an authority over you is always approving on your decision, think twice. Do you get what I'm saying? Only the wise who understand. Only the humble who understand what I'm saying. When somebody who is an authority over you, like you were a child, your parent, a wife, you are a wife, so your authority will be your husband. Okay? Employee, your authority is your employer. So those things. You are a son, a spiritual son, like your spiritual father. Those things. So the first one is that when you are becoming full responsible for crucial and life situation, it means that something is wrong somewhere. It means perhaps there's a certain pride and arrogance that has gone on somewhere that is not making them come to contribute to your life. Withdraw quickly. Quickly. Number 2. So with this wisdom, you realize that in the days of Moses, he said that, God, if you don't go, me, I won't go. Me, if you don't go, that's why Moses made that statement. He said, Lord, if you are not going, me, I'm not going. No. I'm not going. No. I'm not going. But the arrogant will say, hey, if you don't go, don't worry, I can handle it. That is your fault. I can handle it. That is your fault. I can handle it. Then the second one I said is that when somebody who is your authority, okay, somebody you have a sense of accountability to, is always, if you are writing, make the always capital, underline, bolded, is always approving on what you are doing, it means something is wrong. Withdraw. Because most times, perhaps we have shown a certain disrespect or arrogance and pride somewhere. So the person feels like, I don't want to give my input. So when it seems like every decision and everything, the person is refusing to give an input, withdraw quickly. Pause yourself and do a lot of rewind. Pause. When it seems like, oh, it's okay, you can do it. Oh, you can go ahead. Oh, it's a sign, say BBSC. And if you are listening to me and you have done that to somebody, you know what I'm saying. Oh, Ebia, you have an elder sister. Ebia, Sister Karen. This thing should I do? Oh, wait my. Oh, wait my. Oh, wait my. They say. Oh, sir. Now, say. It's like anytime you are seeking for the person's input, and the person brings it back to you. It's a very say. Now, what say? The can. Oh, okay, no. Oh, so if that is how you think, it's fine. If that's how you are feeling, it's fine. If that's what you want to do, it's fine. When it is becoming always and every day, it means pride has worked around you and it's not making the person come on board. Withdraw, because you are going to fall. You are going to fall. If you are wise, you will withdraw. If you are wise, you will withdraw. Sometimes it's not necessarily about the person going with you. But if the person is always restraining an input, it's a question mark somewhere. Hey, sit down and reflect. Withdraw quickly and make your homework. And that's how you are going to fall. Because perhaps, some time ago, BBCM overreacted proudly and I said arrogantly until I shut the person down. And many of us, we do this unaware. We raise wars on people's words concerning us. And not everybody. I'm not saying that everybody can talk about your matter. But when there are certain people you know that they carry a certain wisdom and knowledge, and they have a certain authority over you in certain things, and it seems like they are restraining their input. It means that don't go. That's why even in the work of the prophetic, when God was moving the Israelites, they only move when they see the cloud move. They don't move ahead of the cloud. Debbie. He said, when you see the cloud move, break camp and advance. You only break camp and advance when you see that the thing has moved. That's why David will always inquire of the Lord. Hey. You can't. These are 2 wisdom indicators you can check. You will be able to say you. Okay, you matter. Into Uyam show. Like you, okay, matter. Okay. Okay. Into bende. Okay. So what will you do? Ma will do this and this. Okay. Then you can do it. Debia, okay, fine. Okay, obey my. Hey. Sometimes having to realize that sometimes the thing will go wrong and you come back to them and they are now giving you certain things they didn't tell you. Hey. Then you wonder, so man, why didn't you tell me before? Sadly, I thought I told you about it. It means set a certain arrogance up. That is why the person didn't say it. If you are wise, because in Penifuano, they don't talk like that. People who are deep, they don't talk like that. They don't just talk. They don't just talk. They don't just talk. That's why it will also take a certain patience to be humble, because proud people are always quick. That's why we call them haughty people. Haughty people. Arrogance will always make you. So because of the lack of patience. Say, "Mom, you didn't come on one can." Papa said, "I sent you the message. You didn't reply." So okay. When I told you about it, you didn't say it. That was what brought Saul down. If you have forgotten, that was what brought Saul down. But when I you didn't say anything. I waited. You didn't come. So I said, when certain people who are authority, and you know they have a certain responsibility to contribute to your life, and it seems like a certain contribution and input is not coming, if you are very wise, withdraw and pause. And it doesn't matter. Because when you proceed, you are going to fall. Because sometimes they know something you don't know, and sometimes some of the things they feel they won't say it. Wisdom is talking. Wisdom is talking. That's why some of you are taking certain steps and your mother is just watching you. Into your show. Eso. Into fifia ko ngure mako ku ade ya ma metewa o hwewa. Wan ka hwe, you know. Like we man show. Like you did nothing pricked you say, "Hey, now ma me hwe ade abasisi a." It's man show. Like you know, you are bringing this guy to the house every day. You are talking to this guy. What you are where say, "Mami, let me add the last thing, then I close." When you know you are doing something that is wrong, or something you feel that is not the appropriate way to do, and an authority is not talking about it, it means you are going to fall. Pause, withdraw, and consult quickly. And yes, I'll obey that. That's the last one. Quickly. So Saul, you are leaving the house. Your mother didn't say anything. Hey, are you not shocked? So nothing shook you to pause and hey, why is that this woman didn't say? Some of you are doing the course, you are coming, you are by, as if they are not watching. The fact that they are not talking doesn't mean that they are not watching. If you are wise, withdraw. I want you to lift up your voice and pray shortly. Am I proud? Help me to grow well. Who are the people who are supposed to talk about certain things about me that they are not talking? Who used to talk about certain matters about me that the person is not talking again? Some of you, your elder sister used to talk about certain things. Now, when you bring the subject up, she doesn't want to talk again. Some of you, your mother used to talk about certain things. Now, she's not saying it again. Is it that it's better now? That is why she's not talking. Or because I became proud, that's why she stopped. Why is it that this person is not doing the way he used to do things to me again? This person who used to teach me, now the person does not teach me again. What has gone wrong? Had my pride interrupted? Lift up your voice in prayer. You know you go to work late. Nobody is complaining. You know you are not doing the right thing. But your authority is not talking about it. Sometimes you know the way you are talking is not right, but this person is not saying anything. Is my pride preventing the person from correcting me? The whole 1 year you have not been corrected. The whole 1 year, 6 months about that you have not been corrected. You have not. Does it mean I'm doing right? Or a certain pride? Is it genuine that I have grown? Is it genuine that I have understood certain things? And now a certain pride is preventing my teachers from teaching me. Oh, Jesus. Is it like a certain pride is making certain people withdraw their help, withdraw their correction, withdraw their rebuke? And some of us.
God bless you for listening to this message. We hope you are blessed and equipped as you have been exposed to the light in the Word of God. For sponsorship and other expositions, please call this line 0547-810-722. God bless you and stay connected to the light.